welcome to this episode of Moving Our World. Now, I didn't actually plan to film this week. I had some other stuff going on, but I had my camera equipment with me, and as I was driving past a motel, I saw a wicked Morris Minor Traveller wagon with the wood back, a bit of a Woody Wagon, I guess you could call it, and I knew nothing about them, so I made a phone call, found out whose it was, and this is the video that I got to create.
My name's Warren. I'm based in Woody Wagons on the Coromandel Peninsula on the east coast, and I've got a 1970 Morris Traveller station wagon, Woody, and the reason I've got it is I saw one exactly the same on the reserve about 4 years ago, and I thought that is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And the guy was walking up, he was about 75 then, old Rob, and I asked him if he wanted to sell it, and he, poor old bloke, he had a heart attack. He only got it on the road that week. It took him 22 years to put it on the road, and it's just a cool car. It's great to see people point when you drive down the road, and they smile, and they come over and, oh, you remember when I used to, my granddad had one of those, and they tell you, and it's just really cool, real conversation starter.
Spending the first part of your life over in the UK would have been a very normal sight. Did you have any history with them back then? Is that kind of...
No, Hillman's, not so much Austin. My mother had an Austin 1300 station wagon, and very cool car. You don't see them around anymore, but we never had American or Australian cars in Britain. We had British cars, English cars, so we didn't, not till I got here in 1982 that I started to see. I didn't even know what a Falcon was before I got here. And,
they must have seemed huge.
Yeah, they were. Like I had an XY Falcon, my first car here. Then I just started buying British cars again, Triumph Heralds and Toledos and Dolomites and all that sort of thing. I just started buying Hillman Hunters, buying those. And that's what I generally had. So. And
have you had any like major cars throughout your history that you kind of have a special spot for? You wish you never got rid of? Or?
Yeah, I had a Mark II Triumph GT6. It was pretty. That was an awesome little car.
I bet.
I wish I still had it. But apart from that, not really.
You saw, was it Rob? You saw Rob's one.
Yep.
And then, obviously, that lit a flame.
We started looking, and he'd show up, and his wife Jan, and they'd show up outside the motel, and she got a bonnet on with a scarf holding it on, and got a picnic and the dog in the back, and he'd come in. He says, "Oh, there's another one on the," because he's from Birmingham and he's got the greatest accent. There's another one on the internet, Warren. He says, there's a 1970s. It's been written off though. And I went up and it had been written off, and I thought, that's the one. I brought it down, and a local guy, RDP Panel Meters, they put it back together for me. Cool. It's been going ever since. I use it every day. It's my daily driver, and it's generally got my golf clubs in the back. But so I've still got to finish the inside, so I'm just waiting. When I was rebuilding it, it was either in the panel beaters or in the mechanics, and Rob was getting phone calls saying, "What's wrong with your car, Rob? It's in the because it's identical colour, exactly the same. But from the outside, and he says, "No, there's nothing wrong with it." He says, "It's in the garage." He says, "Oh, so I'll go to the mechanic shop," and he says, "Oh, that must be Warren." So it's we do get mistaken. People wave at me, I have no idea who they are. So they're obviously thinking it's Rob driving down the street waving at me. The guy who owned it before the guy I bought it off had spent 5 years rebuilding it. So he'd rebuilt it to a pretty good standard actually. You can eat your lunch off the engine bay. It was just stunning. And he took it out. He went down to the post office and parked it up on the road, and somebody went up the back side of it and took out the left hand side all the way down to the passenger's door. So
that's crazy.
It was on the internet, sort the parts out, order the parts out of England, and they were here within 3 weeks.
So they're all just available, you can just buy them?
They still make them, They still make them.
Everything's still available. So that'll be that's one of the last, obviously did a little bit of research before I came about the model history, that's one of the last years they made them. And in New Zealand we've got a bit of a unique link because we had the New Zealand Motor Corporation.
That's right.
And they assembled, not Travellers I don't think, because they had to get the woodwork specifically done over in the UK.
White ash. And
so they got white ash wood, and then they would kind of do that at one part and then take the car to another part to do the final assembly. And long story short, the Traveller model never made a profit because of the
No, because of the cost.
Yeah, yeah.
And the other thing with those is from the cab back, the roofs are aluminium,
Yes.
not steel.
Yes.
So you can't put a roof rack on the top on the station wagon part, because we obviously can't take the pressure.
So if that left side was destroyed, the wood would have been a bit...
I bought a new kit.
Yeah.
I bought new doors. So the biggest thing was trying to match everything, and Rob did all that. He made the wheel arch, and he matched the colour. It's nearly almost there, but I mean, if you had a concourse one, you wouldn't drive it. I didn't want that. I wanted one that I could drive every day.
Yeah.
And you know, you're spending $30,000 for a car that
Yeah.
you're going to keep tucked up in the garage. That wasn't really what I was trying to achieve. Putting something back on the road that has been deregistered, I wasn't ready for that, because the rules and regulation in New Zealand are like, unfortunately, because I'm not a car guy in the respect of knowing everything, all the rules and regulations, because it had brackets in the back for seatbelts in the back, and like it was going to be moonbeams to set it all up.
Yeah.
So the easiest thing to do was just to take them out.
Yeah.
So it's only registered as a 2-seater,
Mm-hmm.
so which suits me, because nobody else is going to drive it, just me and the golf club. So
Yeah.
probably next year I'll get it all done again, get the paintwork done, and I'll get the interior done.
That's wicked, man. All right, should we go have a look at the thing?
Yep.
Yeah, let's do it. I appreciate your time, man.
No, that's all good.
That's very cool. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Moving Our World. Warren was an absolute legend, and I hope I can go and meet the other guy, Rob, who also has a Morris Minor Traveller that inspired Warren to get his. I did go and try to track him down. I had a bit of a tip. I knew where he went every morning to go get a coffee, and I went there, saw the car, couldn't find him. But that's okay, no problem at all. What I will do is come back up here another time and hopefully get to interview Rob, because he's got some wicked stuff by the sounds of it. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. Check out all the links in the description. There's a whole bunch there to watch. And if you like bikes more than anything else, remember I have another channel, Small Bike Stuff. Go and check it out. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff on there, and that channel just cracked 1 million views, which is awesome. So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time on Moving Our World.